Welcome back to RuralVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and we're going to talk land. So, if you're just jumping into the live stream, you're probably not even here yet, but if you're seeing the recorded version, today we're going to talk about land. It's a cold morning, Southern California. I got the heater on, I got my sweater on, my office is just a shed in the backyard that was at the horse property or the barn where my wife keeps horses, and it was used as tack, for saddles and stuff. And moved things around on the property and didn't need this shed anymore, so took it apart, brought it home, put it back together, and I took one wall out so I got more light, and I just put like Tough Tex over the wall. And I took the front out, the door out, and I put a big sliding glass door in there so I can see the ocean. That's my office, but there's no insulation. So, and in cold mornings like this, it's cold. But I still like to talk about land, and I got heater between my legs, and I'm warming up, and here we go. So, things starting up. I was just looking at the inventory of different properties on the website right now. It's not just my properties anymore. There's a half dozen other, or not a half dozen, about a dozen, 12, 15 other people that are posting properties on the website. And we got 353 properties for sale on the website right now. And I think that's a lot of fun. All these properties are coming from land dealers, people that are sending out mail. They're sending out cash offers saying, this is how much I'll pay you for your land. And they do it in a systematic way. Sometimes you send out offers to everybody in the whole state. Sometimes you send them out to everybody in the county. Sometimes a zip code or a school district or an area or draw a circle on the map or a street or some attribute of why you like that area. And maybe you just sold something in that area, so you know kind of what the market's like. And you're more comfortable buying other stuff in that area. That's one of my favorite ways to find an area to buy land when it comes to land dealing, is I'll buy a portfolio of properties and get properties all over the place. And one of them's in an area I've never dealt land in before, and I figure out all the rules, regulations, and stuff, and might as well go do some others. As soon as it sells, I know it sells. I know kind of like questions people ask for the area, what they're willing to pay for something that I had. So I can go find something similar. I'll send out blanket offers to everything similar. I'll go through the county data and figure out what kind of properties are similar to the one I just sold, and try to buy more of them. I'll send those people cash offers. I'll say, here's how much I'll buy your land for. I'll pay you in a couple days, or maybe depending on the dollar size, a week or two, or maybe even a month, depending on title and the variables. But I'll pay you fast. I'll make it easy. I'll do most all the paperwork for you, and we'll pull it off, and you get cash quick, right? And so making those offers, people call back and they say, give me the cash, give me the cash, give me the cash. And then I'm doing a lot of paperwork. So I haven't been making very many videos recently about land because I've been doing a lot of paperwork on land transactions, and I got a lot more to do today that just came in from this weekend. I'm gonna be doing paperwork all day long, like my printer. I hope I have enough paper and enough envelopes, and scanning, electronic signature mixed, and just let it fly, right? See how many transactions I can close today. So that's what I want to get to. In the meantime, let's talk about land. That's what we're here about, and that's why we're talking. So we got all these properties back from the mailers, sending out cash offers. People want the money. We give them the money, we get the land. Now what do we do with the land? We put it up on RuralVacantLand.com, and we put it up for sale. The idea is to put it up cheap, like half of what other people are selling the similar kind of land for in the area. And then when we put it up at like half the price, my kids have rabbits and they're fighting. I hear one running into the building. They run around the backyard. They can run away, but they always come back. So I keep hoping they just run away for good, but they keep coming back. Sorry, I got distracted. So we get this land and we put it up for sale at like half the market, and people say, who is this crazy fool selling the land for so cheap? I'm going to buy it quick and not ask any questions. And that's the point. That's the sales pitch. That's why we sell land so cheap. That's how we can sell land so cheap. So we're not looking at the realtor point of view of maximizing dollar per transaction. We're looking at maximizing time. We want to turn these things over. We want to sell them fast because we know how to go buy more. We're going to go buy more land with the money and bring that to the market at half the market too. And so these properties on the website, to this inventory, this is slowing me down from going to go get more land More now, it's more paperwork, but still, this inventory is a bunch of good properties. Maybe they're priced wrong. Maybe nobody's looked at them yet. Maybe there's something wrong with them. But I think they're just fresh on the market. There's nothing wrong with them, and they're priced really well, and people just don't believe. And that's why I make these videos, try to get people to believe in this business model of selling land stupid cheap. So that's the idea. So let's take a look at some of the properties we've got, and whether you're looking to buy land stupid cheap or wait around for the free land that I'll give away towards the end of this video. If you stick around, I'll give away a free property. I'll ask a basic question, and then later on I'll give away a piece of land. So I was starting out, I was saying inventory on the website. Just before making this call, there's 353 properties, and it keeps going down as people buy stuff, and it keeps going up as the dozen people on the website keep posting new properties. So 353 when I started making this, and I'll ask a question later on towards the end of the video about something from the beginning of this video to see if you were paying attention, and give you a free piece of land. So let's pull up the website. I got two different versions of the website. I wanted to look at the map version today, but let's look at the new ones that are on the website first, because I want to go through this map. This is my favorite part of the website. I've done so much work on this, trying to get it to work and making it happen. Right now it looks like a discombobulated pile of numbers, but as you zoom in on the area you like, you can get to properties that are for sale in that area. We got a big gap here in the plains. It's hard to buy that stuff. Everyone knows the prices of that. But as you get up in like Wisconsin, we've got Justin Sleva with these properties in Wisconsin right now. And it's probably cold, and it's probably past deer season, but it might still be deer season of some sorts up here. Not exactly sure. But you get these properties in the springtime and the summer. I bet you they fly off the shelf. It's got lakes and woods, and they're on little streets. And so if you're interested in North Woods kind of property, you can zoom in on those and click on them and see the prices and more information about them. And I grew up on the other side of the lake here. I grew up over here in between these lakes, a little town called, or a little valley called Yuba. Elk Rapids, just north of there. I went to school over here in Glen Arbor. I went to a high school over here by Glen Lake. I used to go ice fishing on this lake, the smaller version of the lake next to it. That one doesn't actually freeze over so well. So I love this kind of area. I mean, I'm cold in Southern California this morning, and it's December, and I'm wearing shorts, but I'm still put a sweater on. That was Minnesota. Those ones are sold, but there's still a couple here in Wisconsin that are up for sale. So these green ones, you can click on them and take a look if you go to the map search part of my website. And I got a link to the map search part of this website in the description of this video too. So if you go to the description and look for the map search, you can go see this map. You can zoom in on it with your phone. Sometimes it's a little fiddly using 2 fingers or zooming in. But we got Florida. We got, where is that? Is that Tennessee? I think we got some Tennessee on the website right now. Let's go to a map. Yeah, the Carolinas, we got Texas, we got right on the Minnesota border, and then we got, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. I think these ones here in Utah are still up for sale. I believe so. Patricia Zach's got a couple nice ones here in the trees. And then we've got getting some close to Las Vegas. Must be Mojave County over here. We've got a bunch of them in Navajo and Apache, and some of them down in Cochise County. Let's make sure it's not behind my head. There's a bunch of Cochise County down here. There's a couple of them up here. These Tucson ones. Which one is this? Oh, that's one. Yeah, I know that property. It's 20 acres. Just the other side of Tucson. We got some north up by Ash Flat, Sligman. We even got Gila County. It's the first one I ever had in Gila County is on there. And a bunch of Southern California. Recently I've been working on a lot of them here in Northern California. I think with today's paperwork, you're going to see a lot more red marks on this map. Urington, Nevada, this other side. So you get over here, I just got the photo guy to go take drone shots and photos of all the properties in this area, and all the ones, almost all the ones along the hillside over here. The drone guy lost 2 different drones this weekend. Neighbor was yelling at him for taking pictures of his house, and he was trying to fly the drone. Neighbor was getting confrontational, and the drone crashed. So he lost one, and then the guy got nice and let him go get the drone and get out of there and stuff. But then he lost another one next to some airport traffic stuff. Poor guy. But he's getting good pictures and drone shots. 2 drones down this weekend doing reconnaissance on the land. Northern California. I shouldn't laugh. It's a lot of money. But still kind of funny. Going up along Route 5, different properties along the way. So we get up into Oregon. I think most Oregon, no, there's some Christmas Valley. We got Christmas Valley properties. A lot of Oregon stuff has sold recently. And what are these over by Newport? I haven't seen these ones. Maybe these are newer ones. No, those are sold. Those, oh, I remember those. Those weren't up for very long at all. Then as we get further up into Oregon, Washington, it gets a lot more expensive. It's a lot harder to get properties up there. Seattle area is just going boomtown crazy prices. So let's look at the list of what's come up for sale since last week. And the ones that have come up for sale and sold are not in this list. This is just the ones that are still up for sale. So the most recent one is Elko, Nevada, 10 acres for $18.99. You know, that part of Nevada. Let's flip back and forth. So let's pull up the map. Instead of doing a deep dive into each property, I'll do an overview of the area. So Nevada, this is Elko County, Nevada, in this area here. Maybe if I bring it like right here, I could go, you know, if I could reach out there, you know, if you could picture where my hand is, that'd be like grabbing Elko County. So as we go in here, Elko County has really low regulations, next to no regulations. Basically, if you don't hook up a power line to your house or your mobile or your RV or whatever, there's no building codes. I mean, I shouldn't say no building codes. I'm not saying that right. There's still building codes. You're supposed to build to, I think it's the International Code of 2018 or something. But no inspections. There's no inspections unless you hook up a power line. So you could go do whatever you want. No one's going to tell you what to do. And I've had a bunch of properties in this area that have sold over time. It looks like there's a couple of them on the map right now. I think there's some 40s, some 10s and 40s spread through this area. And I think I had 1 or 2 smaller ones getting closer to town out this area. Most all of these have sold, but I think there's 1 or 2 getting closer to the actual town of Elko that are up for sale. I don't know which one that one is. 2 acres near lake. Nice. Oh, I know. I think Chris put that one up just recently. Yeah, so you get next to look at that. State recreation area. That's pretty neat. So that's in still Elko County, but a lot of the ones I've had are out here. The 10 acres are all in this area. So this 10 acres for $18.99 is going to be in that area. I'm not looking at the first page. I'm looking at the last page. Let's go back to the first page. So Benton County, Arkansas, $850. Let's see who that is. Curtis got one in Benton County, Arkansas. It's a little over 1/4 acre. Looks like it's on a street in the woods. I got to get the maps up on that so you can do interactive maps. Here's another Benton County, Arkansas, $850. I'm going to guess that's Curtis again. $850, Benton County, Arkansas. So he's got a couple of these lots in Benton County. This one looks like a paved street and a power line. House is next door. $850 for a piece of land in Benton County, Arkansas. That's pretty neat. 10 acres for sale, Latimer County, Oklahoma. I don't even know where that is. I'm usually pretty good at geography. Let's take a look at this one. I'm going to learn something new today. Tim Flood got this one, 11,995. So basically 12 grand, just shy of 12 grand. He's got it mapped out on the map. I need to get the maps updated on here. I'll try to get that working too. So let's pull up a map and see where Latimer County is. I've never done any land deals in Latimer County. I don't know anything about Latimer County. I'm probably the worst person to describe this stuff. But looks like there's trees and a road. Looks like an old river. A couple small towns. Some highways. There's Interstate 40. Here's Fort Smith. So here's Arkansas over here. So we're just over into the Oklahoma border, Oklahoma side of Arkansas. In the hill country, there's lakes, lots of lakes in the area. Smaller lakes as you get closer, but the bigger lakes aren't very far away either. Three acres for sale, Caddish Parish, Louisiana. There you go. I've been to Oklahoma and I've been to Louisiana, but I've never owned land in those states. So let's see what these guys got. This is one of the partners that posted on the property, or posted on the website. I don't know where this is either. Tim Flood, he's finding some new areas. Louisiana, Caddo Parish County. Let's see where this is. This looks like it's got a street going up there and he's got it mapped out. Looks like it's some trees. So what was the size and price of this? Three acres, 4,995. So 3 acres, just under 5,000 bucks. Look, skydiving across the street. That'd be fun to try. A high school, not very far away. So it's close to the Texas state line. Looks like some lakes in the area. Let's turn the map on. I don't know exactly where we're at. Texarkana to the north. I just don't know this part of the country. Shreveport. Bunch of oil and gas processing going on there. Bet you there's some good food in the area. Probably one heck of an accent going on too. It'd be so much fun. One of my wife's dreams is to rent a house in the Louisiana swamps that comes with shotguns. So you can sit on the porch in like rocking chairs and shoot snakes from the porch. That's a vacation she wants to do. And drink like, you know, Bud Light coolers and classic American beer. So if you know of a place that would be good for that, let me know. So maybe I'd get her it for that kind of trip for Christmas or something. I think it'd be fun. I don't know if the kids would like that kind of vacation, but I think it would be fun. Okay, Navajo County, Arizona. Let's see, 1,500 bucks, 1,497 for 1.25 acre. Navajo County. I'm gonna guess this is northern, but I'm not exactly sure. Navajo County, they've got rules and regulations on their website now, clarifying. Let me just flip this over. Composting toilets. So people ask me all the time about composting toilets because it's the rage. I mean, it used to be the norm, like having an outhouse, right? And then it got ugly, dirty, nasty as people started doing indoor plumbing, and so we went super crazy with indoor plumbing, and a lot of the regulations call for indoor plumbing. You got to have indoor plumbing to build there, and of course you're going to have indoor plumbing. This is America, of course. You know, what, 20% of the world's population or something has indoor plumbing? Maybe I have my numbers off, but there's a lot of the world that doesn't. And they don't because they can't afford it, because it costs a lot of money. And when it comes to building a house and making the move and making land happen and stuff, it's money to buy the land. It's money to get out there. It's money to walk away from your job, walk away from your where you're making money, your family, your network, your support systems, everything, all the stores the supplies the service dealers the guy that fixes your car. You don't know who to hire when you move somewhere, right? So the cost of all that stuff, on top of building something new, whether it's supplies, labor, permitting, all those ingredients together. So everywhere you can cut a corner to lower that expense, it makes it more possible to go use the land, go develop the land, and make it happen. And in Navajo County, you've got a willingness to start bare bones and build up from there. So in Navajo County, they have it on their like planning zoning website that the composting toilet, they don't say is okay, but you can do it with if you have a plan in place. And so I talked to a couple different people at the county and stuff, and the rules clarifications and things where they would get people in the past would be, okay, you have a composting toilet. Yep, okay, that's fine. Water from the shower, from the laundry, doing laundry, from washing your hands, from trying to think of what else. Water from the house, fine. Gray water, put it into the yard, water the plants. Water from the sink, kitchen sink, where you're dumping grease and foods and bits and pieces of stuff that attract rats and grow flies and could make a mess. If you just dump that into the yard, neighbors, if you have any, could get mad. And it could be unsanitary for you too. And you don't want that. So what could we do as a solution to still get rid of that water without having to build everything like a modern septic system? And so they came up with 5 foot underground. If you put it 5 foot underground, you're good to go. And so what I would do if I was doing that is I'd get some of that corrugated pipe that you like drive across, put some gravel on, drive across your driveway like a culvert, and cut it in half. So you got like corrugated pipe cut in half, and put those mounds next to each other, and you got then put dirt on it. You got a void underground, and you have your pipe just go into there. And it's like a septic system. It's just a cheap homemade DIY septic system. There's lots of ways to do it, but that gets the water 5 foot underground, and you could do a bunch of capacity. The more you're going to put on there, the bigger the open space you're going to want to flood it and let it soak in. So that's an option that Navajo County lets you do. After 2.5 months of living there, you got to have either a plan to do something like that or a septic system. So that kind of land becomes really easy to use. $1,500 or $1,497 for 1.25 acre. There's multiple ones to choose from. Here's Apache County, 2.5 acres. This one's $1,699 or $399 down, with $125 a month or 26 months. So Apache County, you can drive up and live in your RV and just go for it. You don't have to have the plan or the septic system, as far as I understand. I mean, I think the county requires you to, but it's not policed anywhere like others. So a bunch of people have done that with properties, just gone with it. 1 acre in Apache, another acre for $999,000. Southern Arizona, Cochise County. Okay, I'm just hitting a couple buttons here, trying to keep the lights going. $499, so $500 for a fifth of an acre. 0.2 is a fifth of an acre, right? If I can do math, do fractions. Look at that, $499, and you get a property in Cochise County. Cochise has some really easy owner-builder regulations. They're not available for every single kind of zoning. I'm not sure if it'll work on zoning for this property or not, but they're just a really easy county regulation-wise to go build pretty much anything in, and you can go for it. So here's College Airport, not very far away, and then there's a neighborhood just down the street from here. You're not that far from Bisbee. Let me pull it up on the map. This neighborhood. So Douglas over here, that's behind my head. from the property to Douglas is not very far. You got a Walmart over here. It's like 10 minutes. To Bisbee is a cute little town with like restaurants and stuff. Um, Probably half an hour to go to Bisbee. Um, let's get back to the list. Okay, $4.99. That's pretty cool. Um, two. Let's go to the next page. So we're getting on the second page. I'm gonna try to catch up with chat here in a little bit too. He's talking about gator steaks in your freezer. Nice. Mile High Patriots. Uh, yeah. I don't know if my wife would be up for shooting gators, but she's up for shooting snakes. She doesn't like snakes. I don't know what the regulations would be on that. It's like a don't look, don't tell kind of thing. Build in sunny southern Arizona. So is this $4.99 for 0.19 acres. So there's a couple of these fifth of an acre properties for $500. $500. Another one, Cochise County. So there's a couple of them there to choose from. I was just talking to a guy, I think it was Friday, who was he had his motorhome out there and he was shopping a couple of those properties. I haven't heard back from him yet. If he was able to drive to them all and look at them all and pick out which one, but he was shopping them. Apache County, Arizona. 1 acre, just over an acre for $999. So there's a couple of these Apaches. You go search a whole bunch of Apaches. Let me pull up the map. I'll show you where Apache is. And Cochise. I'll just go back and forth. So we want Arizona. So this is the greater state of Arizona here. From Yuma to Las Vegas over to Navajo Nation and back down to Cochise County. I mean, it's generally a big rectangle with Phoenix in the middle, southern half of the middle. Apache County is the northeasternmost square, and half of it gets up into Navajo Nation. And if you've ever driven up into that area, I mean, it's pretty destitute. It's an Indian reservation, right? And so the people can't get financing on their dwellings. You can't finance the stuff because the bank can't take the land away. In one regard, it's kind of nice because you stay out of the financing slavery side of the world, but at the same time, you don't have that tool to build. And so a lot of the people up there are mobile homes, and because they can finance mobile homes easier, because people can still take the mobile home away if they don't make the payments. And there's some coal mines. Like a lot of them work at coal mines, and they'll take a truckload of coal home with them on Friday afternoon or whenever, right? And unload the coal in their front yard, and they have a coal-fired furnace in their mobile home to keep them warm, cook dinner and everything else, because they don't want to pay for natural gas and they don't want to pay for heat, and just bring coal home from the coal mine. So as you get up here, you see piles of coal in people's yards. It's like going back in time. But the southern parts of the county, you get a little bit higher elevation, and you get some more bush and more just more wildlife and stuff. Like as you get way up north, up in here, it's pretty bleak. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks like the kind of landscape you'd see in a Wild Western movie, but there's just not much going on except for the Native Americans. So a lot of the properties that are up for sale now are south. Well, some are a couple north of the 40 here, but a lot of them are south of the 40. And as you get down towards St. John's, remember there was a Indian movie. Was it called Contact or Taken or something? The guys go out in the woods outside of St. John's and they get abducted, and they drive the truck like crazy, or they're running away from their friend gets abducted. They're running away from it as fast as they can. They go into the bar in St. John's, and then they tell people, and everyone says they're crazy. They're working out in those pine trees somewhere. I forget what the name of that movie was. Maybe someone, if they know what I'm talking about, they can put it in the comments. And then you get Cochise, and down below you get Springerville. But over here you got the big box stores, Sholo, with Walmart, Home Depot kinds of supplies. But you've got grocery I forget the name of the store, but there's a grocery store in St. John's and basic supplies and stuff. And this whole countryside just really easy to roll up in your RV and go for it. A lot of it's 4 or 5,000 foot elevation. It's not 1,000 foot elevation like Phoenix, so it's not as hot as Phoenix over here. It's a lot more temperate. It's a lot more evened out. The highs and lows are evened out more. So that's Apache. Okay, so then we got Los Angeles County. That's the backside of Los Angeles, you know, LA, California. 4,490 or terms, 199 down, 199 a month. And I can't remember if we covered these last week or not. But we also got some San Bernardino. I guess I didn't turn that off. And then we got, let me just pull up the map because I like using the map. Let's go San Bernardino County and Los Angeles County. So over here we've got Los Angeles. Boy, there's a lot of blobs here in the backside. Let's see if I can switch it to satellite. So a lot of land deals in the backside of Los Angeles. Los Angeles here, you got Lancaster, Palmdale, Victorville, Barstow. I mean, I've had a lot of these Barstow area properties in the past I've sold, but a couple guys got properties in the backside here. So we got a good smattering of properties, a lot of properties in the backside of Los Angeles to choose from right now. And it's nice and warm. I mean, you get a lot warmer land there than lots of places in the country. And you're close to Los Angeles. It's not that big of a drive to get to a very large airport, international airport. You can go fly all over the place. I like taking flights out of LA. I think some of the next flights probably doing are some old friends, you know, kids are the same age, friends forever, moved to South Africa and they're getting married. They've got 3 kids and they haven't gotten married. Swedish style, right? My wife's Swedish and their family's Swedish, and had the kids before the marriage, so they're having a wedding. I think that's probably one of the next flights I'll probably do out of there. South Africa. I've never been to Africa. It'll be fun. I'm excited. But there's a lot of properties to choose from backside of Los Angeles right now. I should go through and detail each one of these, but I'm not going to do that right now. So Los Angeles, some new ones coming up. 11,990 or terms, 299 down, 299 a month. There's a lot of owner financing. I think most of these are Willie, but there's also Patricia Zach in there. So Willie and Patricia, and maybe some others, but this is Willie. William Goldberg is email landmonkeys1@gmail.com, and his phone number's on there. He's always ready to go and do some land deals. He's been ripping and roaring property after property. San Bernardino County. So if we go back to that map, San Bernardino County is just further out, you know. So if we take this back to the map, that's like Barstow, and all from Barstow out to the river. Here's Barstow. Oops, where'd Barstow go? Barstow. Oh. Barstow to the river. So Colorado River over here. This is the largest county in America. Just a huge county. Covers vast amount of area. That was the first county I ever bought mail or bought land in. And the first county I ever sent mail out was Mojave County, just the other side of the river. I was sending out offers like $125 for your property on the river. People would call and they would yell at me, and but I would tell them that's how much money I have. Like, it's just an offer, you could just throw it in the trash. And man, they got so mad at me. But I started offering a little bit more, like $500. I started sending some mail over here in Barstow County. Not Barstow County, San Bernardino County, like $500. I'll buy your land for $500, and you know, send out thousands and thousands of them. And the first person that called me back and said yes, like actually yes, yes, was in he lived in Beverly Hills, and the property was in let's see if I could pull it up. Why can't I find it? Oh, it's Southmore. I don't think it's on this version of the website. It's on my old website, but 29 Palms, but more like Wonder Valley, like out here in this area. $500. He said, but I'm not selling you one. I got two of them. You got to buy both of them. Okay, for $1,000. Okay, two 5-acre lots, basically 10 acres for $1,000. I said, I could buy 10 acres for $1,000, and it's got roads and power lines. I'm in. And I said, I'll buy it. And I had to pay like $250 to get a notary over to his house, because there's like no parking, and everyone charges a lot in Beverly Hills. And that side of it was a mess, but I got the land, and then I sold it for like, I don't know, $5,000 a piece or something. I said, this is a cool business. I'm gonna go buy more land, and I've been buying land ever since. So here, Los Angeles County, Los Angeles County, Los Angeles County. Next one, Mariposa. I really like this property. This was one that I bought here. Let's pull this one up. I'm asking $49,000 for this one, and it's got access weirdness. I mean, there's a house next door. There's easements that go on either sides of it, but there's national forest between the property and the road. And the national forest, I called the Santa Luz National Forest guys. And I said, there's some logging trails there, because there's logging trails there. People have been logging this area. And they take all the brush and they burn it over here. But these little trails run through here. They said, if there's logging trails, you can drive on the logging trails and just drive over to your property, no problem. So, okay. So I think you can drive right in here to the property through the logging trails and use it. I don't know if that works for permitting and stuff. That's one of the projects I should be working on today, is check out if I could get a building permit by driving across the logging trails. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to figure out these easements and figure out where the easements actually connect to. Cause there's easements, so just gotta connect them out to the road and see which one would be the easiest one to run, and then present that, and that'll probably get the property sold. But I'm asking $49,000, and I just got a bunch of pictures. A drone guy got pictures of it, and I just think it's a beautiful area. You know, you're up here in the hills, and there's a couple other houses around the area in the hills, and you just get your own place in the hills. Gotta go out there to look at it and see. Okay, let's move on. This one is in Mariposa County, California. I can pull up the map. I'll show you where Mariposa is. Let's see if it's zooming. Computer's going slower on me. So Mariposa is up here. It's you know, right in this area. I think it's this one. I think this was Mariposa too, but I think this is it. Yeah. So we're just down the hill from Yosemite, like Yosemite Valley. Yosemite National Park is really close to this property, so you could just drive, you know, next to nothing up into Yosemite, go walk your dog for the day, go have fun, and then come back home and spend the night here. You don't have to go camp in Yosemite. You still go enjoy it, go rock climbing, and it'd be fun. You go through Yosemite out to the back, and you could go to Mammoth. You go skiing up here at Mammoth. That'd be fun too. So next one, Cochise County, 5 acres, 3,490. Kind of surprised this one's still up on the website. I think this one's from before. This might be a new one. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we covered this one last week, so I think we're starting to get into the ones from last week. I was talking to, I think, 2 or 3 different people that were going to look at this one, so I'm surprised. Maybe someone bought it over the weekend. It's not marked yet, but, or they're gonna. That one's probably sold. If we get into third page, yeah, Baldwin County, Alabama. We're starting getting into the ones. I think we saw these last week. Jason Lydiard is asking for $9,000 or $1,000 down and $250 per month for 48 months. It's got a video. It's got a fire hydrant, power lines. Bay County, Florida. I think this one had some mobiles in the area. It looks like really easy to use, just north of Panama City Beach. Yeah, we looked at this one last week. So I've gotten through the list of properties, and the ones I've been working on are getting more photos and videos and stuff of all these ones here in Northern California. This Grass Valley, one of these in Grass Valley. Well, two of them in Grass Valley. I've got surveyors out to look at. Nobody can seem to find this 3-acre one over here that's in just south of Grass Valley. They're having a hard time figuring out where the property really is. So I got a surveyor marking that one out. Alta Sierra one, I've got no one thinks it can perk, so I got a septic person out there doing septic tests and getting it registered with the county that you can perk it and actually get septic in there. And so they were out digging holes Thursday on that one. And I think later this week, depending on the rain, the county will go inspect it and give their stamp of approval of a new septic plan. And then we're off to the races. We got a surveyor going to that one too, to make sure that the place that looks easiest to septic is actually on this property. So that's happening right now as well. And then numerous ones in here sold over the weekend. I got to crunch paperwork on. Yeah, so let me catch up with some of the chat stuff here. And then we'll give some land away. See if we got some good questions. Thanks guys for listening, watching, paying attention. Sorry I haven't been diving into the chat. I can only do so many things at once. So a whole bunch of good mornings. Everybody was saying good morning. Good morning, guys. Mikhail Nodal is saying, hey man, we want to make a move on the Mendo property. You still doing the payments? Yeah, tell me which property. Tell me which property you're interested in buying, how much you want to do down, how much you want to do a month, and I'll look at it and see if I can do payments on that one, a particular one, and I'll come up with how many months I can, it makes sense to me with how much down you're doing and how much you're doing a month, and I'll take it from there. So tell me which property, how much down, how much a month, and I'll figure it out from there, and then we'll see if we have a deal. And that goes for all the properties. I mean, I'll try to figure it out. And some of these I say yes and no to because I've got different sets of capital. Like not all the money that I use to buy these properties is all my money. So some of it is partners' money and old friends from that went to my wedding is best man kinds of guys, right? Or neighbor or somebody I did land deals with along the way, somebody that bought a bunch of properties from me and wanted me to go resell them, or the partners come about over time. And so some of the partners don't want payments and they want to keep it clean, and part of it is I don't want to do taxes. Like the tax gets ridiculous on doing payments, especially when I got other people involved. So sometimes I buy them out or we trade back and forth, trade this land, that land, and somebody gets the payment deal and I send it on their way. So I got to look at each property and try to figure out if I can do payments on it or not with that stuff going on in the background, if that makes more sense. Eric Dalton says audio sounds good, video is good. Thanks guys. There's always technical problems with these things. It seems to be going well this morning though. Roxy says good morning Luke and everybody. Janet Lane says hello Luke, I keep missing the beginning. Eric Dalton, the uninsulated shed house salesman. Yeah, exactly, right? I don't want to spend money on an office, or I don't want to drive somewhere. So the uninsulated office or the shed house salesman, exactly. I mean, I don't see myself as a salesman. I'm talking about stuff that I believe in, that I enjoy, that I'm having fun with, and I'm helping people. I mean, I get people like breaking down crying happy on the phone and messages back to me because it changed their life. Because they went from a dumpy apartment somewhere with neighbors that they don't want to see in the hallway, or that bully their kids or something, and whatever the story is, people can always come from somewhere worse to where you got. And I really learned that in Detroit. um, I would buy these houses in Detroit, and everyone would say, why do you buy these houses? Like, who is going to rent these houses? And they're in like war zone, horrible places in Detroit, right? Like, people steal the wires out of the lighting on the streets. There's no more lights in the street, and then crime goes up because there's no night lights. I mean, stupid stuff like that, like getting down there. And you gotta like fix bullet holes and fix windows that were shot out, and try to keep the pipes from getting stolen. Like, I'd hire people straight out of prison to go stay in the house for, while they're getting back on their feet, make sure nothing gets stolen, and I'll give you food and I'll give you a place to live until I get it fixed up and rent it out, and then move them from house to house. Hey, that's how you keep them from getting robbed, right? Guys just out of prison, no one's messing with those guys. That one that looks like Mike Tyson, oh, he was great at collecting money from renters too. Not because he looked like Mike Tyson and he could tear your head off, but because most of the tenants were women that flirted with him, because to them he was hot. So that was cool. But these people would come from horrible places, and they would see these houses. They're just basic houses, and the same thing. They'd break down crying. They're so happy. They're so happy they get their own house, their own place, their own thing they've never had before. And that became very clear to me that there's always somewhere worse. And so when you provide something like a place to live, or the opportunity to set up a place to live, people figure it out. Like one of the properties I was working on this morning, it's a pretty steep hill, like really steep hill. And the guy wanted to buy the land, and I'm like, have you looked at the topography? Did you go out there and look at it? You sure? He's like, oh yeah, it's great view. I'm gonna carve. He's like, I got my own bulldozer. He's all ready to go. So I'm gonna carve the hill and make it happen. It's like, sweet. Where there's a will, there's a way. And because of that, I don't see myself as a salesman. I mean, maybe I am, but yeah. Healthy, wealthy, and stealthy. I'm looking for property in Klamath Falls. This is Southern Oregon, right? So we got the map up on the screen, but you guys can't see it. Let's pull it over here. So Klamath Falls, we've got where's Klamath Falls? Southern Oregon, right? Klamath Falls. Here we go. So I've had some properties out here. One of the guys that bought the property, I mean, they weren't crying happy that they bought the property, because like a couple months later, 6 months later or something, they had their supplies out on the property, and the neighbors stole some and burned the rest. It's like, great. That's not a happy story, so I don't like to hear that kind of stuff. But sometimes those things happen. I forget which property it was, but that was one I had in the area. But usually, I mean, most all the time, it's happy stories from there. But construction sites get robbed and burned all the time. I mean, I was in UTC, like University Town Center, part of San Diego. When I was in college, I had an apartment, and now they're building new apartment buildings next door, and people would steal the supplies like crazy. So they put in like massive fences and cameras all over it. And then right after they did that, I don't know how they got through it all, but somebody went in and they torched it, and it was like I don't know, 500 or 800 unit apartment complex, multiple buildings that they're building. It burned them all down. It happens in cities, it happens in country, it happens all over. People don't like change. Some people don't like it. Adam Mixell is saying, good morning, Luke. Just got the deed to my property. Thank you. Good deal. So I do a lot of these deeds. They go out the door, and then I never hear about them again. And I usually only hear about the ones that have a problem. And I'm fixing the problems, right? So it's good to hear that you got it. Everything's good. Okay. Jax is freezing. Hello from Florida. It's even cold in southern Texas. I know, right? I need Cochise County. I'll call you later. TK Dawes. Good deal. Thanks, TK. Yeah, call me later. Doing land deals all day. Paperwork's fast as I can go. Let's transition this over. So Gila, Edivishu, Gila. Yeah, so we've got Gila. There's this property. Let me make sure it's on the website. It should be on the website. People have been trying to buy it. It's in Arizona. It's in Gila County. Let's look, not the map, but the let's go listings for sale. Well, I did that wrong. I should know how to use my website. So I'm going to pull it up here so hopefully you can see it. So I've got the advanced search part of the website. I'm going to go to Arizona, then I'm going to go to Gila County, and I'm going to do for sale, and we'll pull up the ones that are in Gila County. Should just be this one. So we got drone guy to go out there and take pictures. I think it was with drone. At least pictures. Let me pull this up. Asking $29,995. This is Gila County, basically 30 grand, right? It's 3 different APNs. So lots of videos I've had in the past, I talk about splitting up properties, selling off the pieces for more than you paid for the whole thing, and keeping part of it for free. I'm not sure this property is going to be that way. Well, depends how greedy you are. You could probably do that because it's on the river, but one of the APNs is on the river. I didn't get the maps made on this one yet. So I wanted to make maps that shows all 3 properties, like interactive map. I haven't done that yet. It's on my to-do list. Let's see if I could try to explain this. But I think if I made that map, it would make a lot more sense. So it did get drones. Looks like there's some cattle on the property, or the neighboring property. There's a town over here. This is a mining town. There's some trash on the property. You bonfire it away, I guess. Get a junk hauler, move it off. Okay, so here's to the north, I believe. So you get these hills, and then between these hills is this Gila and Salt River. So the Gila and Salt River is flowing right here through the property, and it comes down, and the property is between the road and the river, and it's this big area here. So it's this whole, like, the whole bottom of this thing. It's 15 acres. And so it's got a power line. You can see there's a power line in here. And it's so it's between the paved road and the river with a power line. And this kind of view in one side of it. Now, it looks like $100,000 property or more until you start looking in the other directions. We'll see if we get there. So it's this, you know, beautiful countryside. There's some junk on the property. I mean, another bonfire, or get that thing hauled away or whatever. Here's a road that goes into it. See, these pictures show, yeah, okay, so here's one of the negatives. So on the back side, there's a mining operation. Here's a power line. I mean, yeah, there's a power line, but see the smokestack back here? There's a smelter, and this smelter is running ore not from the local mines, you know, on site anymore. It's at ASARCO, I think it's like a Mexican conglomerate kind of mining company, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a Brazilian one. I'm pretty sure it's a Mexican one. But they bring ore from other operations in the area to this smelter and smelter it up. I think it's copper and whatever else is in there. Maybe some silver and some other heavy metals or something. But okay, here's a drone shot. So here's the mining operation in the background. Here's the road. So this road runs along the foothills of it. And then here's the river. And so this property in the past was used to launch rafts, to go whitewater rafting in that river. I don't think it's year-round rafting, but partially, you know, when the water's flowing, you can go raft. I think it flows year-round, but it's not whitewater year-round. So here's like the road and the land. Here's the mining operation on one side. Here's the road, and here's the land. So if you're looking for Gila County, there's Gila County. And if you want to, I think ASARCO. So here's the mining operation in the back. If you wanted to keep some land for free, you buy all 3 of them, sell the one that's on the river, because that one's probably the choicest piece of land. And then there's 2 in the back. You could probably keep the 2 in the back for free. And I was thinking maybe you just draw yourself an easement over to the river, so you could still access the river, and have a piece of it so you could split it up and use it that way. Just draw in some easements. That'd be one way to do it. I don't think you're going to be able to get the economics to work to buy all 3 of them, sell the ones in the back, and keep the one on the river for free. I'm sure you could sell the ones in the back and subsidize your cost for the one on the river, but I don't think you're going to get enough to cover it. So that's where the property is, north of Tucson, east of Phoenix. A little mining town called Hayden, Winkleman, Hayden. Here's a shot of the river. This is 2 weeks ago, I think. This is the water level. There's a bunch of rock in there, so if you like to build out of rock and do masonry and stuff, there you go. I think there's a gate going back in there. So there's property. I got sidetracked. Texas saw 10 inches of snow. What the heck? That's a lot of snow for that far south. TK Dawes said they're trying to stop owner build house, so if you want to live off grid, hurry up and buy land now. So he must be talking about Cochise County. Huh. That'd be sad if they stopped the owner builder build stuff going on in Cochise. Maybe they got too many people asking questions about it because of videos like this, right? It's a good way to go. But not just mine. I mean, there's a couple YouTube channels promoting the owner builder stuff in Cochise County. Roxy said, "Oh no, that's not good, losing the drones." I know, I got to talk to the photo guy about what happens when he's out on a job for me and he loses the drones. I hope it's not like expects I'm going to pay for him. I had him checking out a property for me a couple 2 weeks ago. I shouldn't laugh. Maybe he's watching this call. And I can't help myself. It's like when somebody gets hurt, I start laughing. I can't help myself. My mom does the same thing. Maybe it just runs in the family. So he was taking shots of the property with a drone, and neighbors started shooting at the drone. And I was like, "Oh no, what happens if a neighbor shoots down the drone? I hope he doesn't send me a bill." So, but he got out of there without it getting shot. Dita Love saying good morning. But it's really living off grid, yeah. Roxy said, I have family there, and the locals all believe in Bigfoot there. I think that's Oregon. I think that's talking about the Oregon properties. Roxy is talking about gator steaks, yeah, because my wife would like to do a vacation to New Orleans, however you say it, local style. I always like New Orleans and touring around. Love the food and the people and the culture. It's just different. It's part of the U.S., but it's totally different. And go rent a swamp house you like got to take a boat to, and sit on the porch, drink beer, and shoot snakes. And so that's her idea of a vacation. We'll see if we can pull that off. Roxy sees, I plan on a septic system myself. Yeah, why not? Septic system's a really simple thing to do. I mean, the hardest part is digging, because you're like digging and digging. I mean, you could do shovel, you could rent equipment, just measuring out, getting the grade right, however, 1/4 inch, a foot, or whatever kind of drop you want on the leaky pipes to get the stuff to go into the ground. Roxy sees, I think, picking on Cochise County. It's down by the border, a lot of unemployment in that county. Yeah, it's I was talking to one lady, Cochise County. So I'll just give you guys an example. Let's see if I can pull this up, because I was trying to get help for my daughter and learning to read and trying to, school stuff. And I was looking at different angles. I mean, she's like coming along really well now. But this lady was in Cochise County. She was in Bisbee, and she was on this this app. See if I got it spelled right. Yeah, Wyzant. Wyzant. And so you can do video education stuff with a tutor on this app. And I thought it was great. And since then, I've talked about it to a couple different people, some teachers in the area that used to be like full-time school teachers. And they're like, oh, you make more money and you set your hours when you tutor. And so this was one of the easy bridges for them to go become a tutor, is they get on Wyzant. Wyzant takes a crazy cut of their pay, but they start on Wyzant and they give up 30% of their pay or something. I'm not exactly sure how much it is, but they give up some of their money that they make tutoring people with like all their video and things that they've got going on. And then they still make more like per hour, and they can do it at their own time from anywhere in the world than if they were at the local public school. And so it's a digital revolution, right? You can go live in the middle of nowhere, Cochise County, if you can get a good internet connection like T-Mobile or something, and then run Wyzant. You could be a tutor. If I'm sure there's lots of things you could do, but you could tutor something that you believe in, whatever kind of tutoring you might know something about or have a passion for. It could be something really simple like reading, which I'm sure you know how to read. I'm not gonna go all the way into it, but that's a way you could live in Cochise County or pretty much anywhere and make money. Just an example. There's lots of ways, but that's one. Yeah, Roxy C is saying rattlesnakes taste like chicken when cooked. Yeah. Be better than living in a car. Sounds good. Sap. Can I use land I won as a down for another one of your properties? So Lisa first name Sap. So yeah. So a part of me giving away these properties is to show you how cheap I can get them. I mean, when you look at the numbers, you're like, Luke's a joke. Like, he didn't pay much of anything for this property. That's the point. Because I want to show you that property, I mean, we're always taught to believe that property is like really expensive and inaccessible and it's only for the rich or something. But I think it's very location dependent too. So if you're willing to give up on the location of your dreams, or what you know is usually the location of your dreams because you haven't traveled enough to see other places and experienced other places, the U.S. is full of beautiful places with awesome people, awesome customs, food, and things to enjoy. And if you go try like a road trip around, you start seeing lots of these other places, and it can open your mind to other places you might be willing to live or want to live, and it might be a lot cheaper, easier, more accessible than where you're at. And tools like this Wyzant thing I just showed you, and many others like Upworks.com, or lots of things of being more mobile and being able to work from anywhere, allow you to do that, to leave the city and go live in the countryside while still making hopefully even more money on an easier schedule and having a better lifestyle. And that's what it's all about, right? So Lisa, first name Sap, is asking, can I use the land I won as a down payment for another one of your properties? Yes and no. Yes, but I think it would make more sense if you resold that property for some cash and use that cash to make a down payment on another property, because I get these things for so cheap. I'm not gonna take them for much of any credit to the next property, right? So I think it's gonna make a lot more sense if you have me resell it, get that cash, and then go use that for the next property. So hopefully that answers the question. And then part of it is you see how cheap they are. Why not buy a whole bunch of those and resell those, right? If you want me to, I can crunch paperwork and do hundreds more of them or something. Just let me know what you want to do. Concho is in Apache. I might have mixed that up. But yeah, Concho's in Apache. It's getting close to the state line. It's close to Navajo. California wilderness land. Yeah. What's the question answer to win free land? Yeah, the question will come up here pretty soon. It's already been an hour in this call. I'm trying to get through catch up with the chat, make sure I didn't miss any good questions, and then I'll give some land away. Tracy Lays, looking for a mountain land with no restrictions, no building permit. Mountain land, no restrictions, no building permit. I've got some cheap stuff. I don't know if it's the right kind of mountains. You're probably thinking tree-covered mountains or Colorado or something, but I'm thinking northern Nevada for like less than $2,000 up here somewhere. You can get up in the mountains with nobody around. And let me move this to map, satellite, and there's like next to no restrictions. You can basically do what you want. Like, look at this one. Here's up in the mountains. This one's the foothills mountains, but I'd look at this one. Mountains with no restrictions. So we're in Elko County. This is the furthest north one in Elko County. And might have a hard time getting out to the property, but if you can get there, I bet you don't see anybody else there for like years. Maybe a plane goes by every now and then. Like, you could do whatever you want. You could have 500 head of cattle, probably. No one would notice. You could have spaceships visiting for Christmas. No one would notice. It's, and even if they did, no one would enforce it. There's no inspections because there's no power lines. There's nothing out here. There's a little trail. There's some trees. You could probably shoot elk for dinner and no one would notice. I'm not advocating poaching, but there's probably some permit you should get to do that. But you get my point, right? Fire in the Sky, Deanna Boston, that was it. So I was making fun of Apache County, and then I was explaining the video where the guy got kidnapped by the aliens and the other guys jumped in the truck and went racing on through the trees back to the bar. The movie was called Fire in the Sky. Deanna Booten came up with the name of it. That's right. Roxy says, or Fire in the Sky, the loggers. Yeah, the loggers in that one. Exactly. There's logs in those areas. Dee Dee Love said, told my kids I'm looking to buy land from you. Now 3 of my 7 are with me on it. Nice. You need all those kids to go help you build. Get them to hold the hammer and make things happen and stuff. I love building stuff. So this weekend, do you guys ever look at, there's an old blog. I'll refer to someone else's stuff again. So this blog is Mr. Money Mustache. I probably misspelled it, mistyped or whatever. Okay, and this blog's been around for a while. It's this Canadian guy, and he's just the all-around dude. You know, the guy, you know, like Canadian, but not 100% American guy, but still total guy. And he starts this blog, I don't know how long ago, 10 years ago or something. And he starts writing about saving money. And a lot of it is oriented to getting out of your car, riding your bicycle, and stop buying stuff. Start fixing what you got and making things happen on your own. Stop spending your money. Put your money to work for you. Like those kinds of mindsets, right? And so he figures out how to cut corners and lots of things that are enlightening and motivational and get me to do things, right? So this idea, this mindset is presented by hundreds of people, lots of different ways. It's a minimalistic mindset. But the way that he packages up and delivers it speaks to me. And ways that other people do it speak to other people, but this one speaks to me. So I like this one. And he's got an article in here about radiant heating. So he's in Colorado and he has a house and he fixes it up and he does radiant heating on a seriously low budget. And so the way he comes up with it is he's got a tankless water heater that he put into the house, and he runs, it's got a crawl space under the house, so he goes under the house and he runs PEX underneath the floorboards, and then he covers it with aluminum to help expand the heat out over a larger area, and then he covers it in insulation to keep it stuck in there so it goes up. And he goes through and he comes up with a plan, and I think the magic sauce of this sucker is one of these pumps. And let's see if he gets into the actual pump that he bought. Somewhere in there, it's the actual pump that he bought, this taco pump. And the pump basically checks the temperature of the water when it goes into the system and when it comes out of the system, and it changes the speed depending on the temperature and what you got the temperature set at in the house. So it does radiant through the house. And this is like the complicated old school version, and this is his version. He comes up with his version using this pump and a tankless water heater. And so when I read this article like 2 years ago, I'm like, oh, I want to do that someday. So this weekend, I had the chance. I bought a house, and it's not very far from here, and we can have horses and stuff for the wife, and it doesn't have any heat. And well, the heat's like totally broken stuff. Like everything's broken. It needs. It's a fixer upper, right? And so I ripped out all the carpet because I don't really like carpet, and I started doing a version of what he's doing, but with plywood. I started ripping plywood at 35-degree angles, and hook one down to the floor, screwed it to the floor, put the pecs under it, put another one over it, so it like, toenails over the top of the PEX pipe and keeps it in there. And so I was doing that all weekend. I ripped out the old stuff, started putting the new stuff in. I didn't get totally finished. I might go back tonight and finish it. And then I'm going to put like a laminate floor over the top of it. And then I got a heat system that doesn't blow air, doesn't move around dust. It warms up my feet as I walk around. And it's really efficient energy-wise. And so that's what I was building this weekend. I'm just always building different stuff. That's, I think, an inspirational one. Okay. Both movies were based on true stories. Yeah, so Fire in the Sky. I was talking about getting the kids involved in making stuff. I think it's very important to get the kids involved in making stuff. I had my kids out this weekend helping me on some different things. So I'm talking about fault lines and where they run around Arizona. DD Love's saying, yeah, no Cali for me, too many fires. Yeah, there's a lot of fires. Stay with Arizona, yup. DD Love's saying, on site today, Colorado and Tennessee property looking nice to me. Yeah, so there's a couple Tennessee ones and some Colorado ones that aren't that much. Jack Hawk saying, need land in Klamath County, Oregon, 10 acres. Yeah, I don't think I have any right now, but maybe I'll have some in the future. See, I lost my spot. Here we go. Jack Hawk saying, nobody wants to live in California with their gun laws and taxes. Yeah, I know, right? I had a guy trying to pay for land with guns, and I'm open to that. It's like, yeah, sure. So he tried to ship me the guns, and I was trying to take them at like the local gun dealer, and they said you can't take those guns because they're some fancy assault rifles and they're like police edition and stuff. And I said, what the heck, man? So yeah, I can't have that in California, man. So I got friends in Michigan, like just get the guns shipped to my place in Michigan or my friend's place in Michigan, and store them there. He has a good gun safes and stores everything, so I'd store my guns there. There's always a way around it. People are talking about the free land. I'm going to do free land here pretty soon. I'm starting to catch up. Roxy sees, Luke, I'm still planning that trip in the spring or maybe summer would be nice. Yeah. Christine Brown says, I'm looking for something in Arizona that's warm in the winter for my RV. We plan to travel during the summer. Yeah. You could have a property for the summer, one for the winter. You go back and forth, have a couple of them. Some of the guys have 4 to 6 properties. They just travel around from property to property with their RV. There are numerous buyers like that. For the prices we come up with these properties, I mean, it can be done. It's a lot cheaper than a lot of alternatives. It's a lot cheaper than paying taxes on a place in California. You buy a whole new property every year. Lisa, first name Sap. You're a good guy, Luke. That's a beautiful story and a loving human being. Yeah, there we go. We'll keep going. What does T4 mean? I don't know. RV Radio saying, Luke, can I contact you offline? Yeah, I mean, I answer the phone as much as I can. A lot of people say they can't ever get me on the phone. I mean, the phone just rings and rings and rings. The girls that help me answer lots of phone calls and negotiate deals and terms and a lot of paperwork and trying to make things happen. Girls answer the phones, do a lot of that. I answer the phone as I can, as much as I can. I'm doing a lot of paperwork too. It's like the owner for insurance. Looking for land in western North Carolina. I think there's one on the website right now. So that was it's Nevada. Let me go to the map so it's not crunching so much data. I'm just going to pull up the map on western North Carolina. See if I can get there. The map's loading, loading, loading. Need a more efficient map. Things getting clogged. North Carolina. Yeah, so here we go. It's North Carolina. So go to the map search down in the description box of this video. There's one just north of Hickory. Maybe that's your property. Maybe that one fits the bill. Let's see what it is. Wooded lot and gated community. I don't know that one. Okay, so A2 says, hey Luke, I know I work off hours, but I am available for pictures or drone footage in the high desert. Yeah, so high desert, you mean like backside of LA? High desert area? That'd be cool. I don't think I have any properties in that area right now. The ones I've been paying for, like drone and photos on, I've been a little bit bigger dollar properties, you know, sell for like 50 grand or 30, 40, 50, 75 grand or something kinds of properties. Then I can price in photos. And sell for 2 grand, 5 grand stuff. There's not enough margins in them to really price in pictures. And a lot of the areas there start looking the same. Like I get pictures from 5 different properties and I can't tell which one it is. That's pretty bad, but I don't know, just the way it is. Like I don't want to pay for pictures and they all look the same. Lots of times I buy pictures in these properties and the property is sold before the picture guy gets me the pictures and I still got to pay him. And you don't realize how much work it is, like doing logistics to get the picture guys out to these properties, like trying to make sure they get the right property and stuff. Like one I was just showing pictures of earlier today, it was like 10 acres and wherever, it's with a Santa Luz National Forest next to it. I mean, those are select a couple of the pictures. Most of the pictures are on the wrong side of the road. They're like pictures of the wrong area. I mean, you got to the right area, but the wrong property. And that kind of stuff happens all the time. I still got to pay them. Like, come on, you know? So it takes a lot to really describe where the property is properly. People that are shopping land, I think, are a lot better at finding properties and figuring it out than people going to take pictures. So maybe you'd be a really good person because you know shopping land and taking pictures. So I'll keep that in mind. Omaha, we got 4 inches and it'd be cold here. Yeah, I bet. Can Canadians buy land from you? Yes, people from all over the world can buy land from me. I've sent deeds to India. People straight from India, not even from India, when they're in India buying land as investments or for their kids or grandkids, you know, for their wedding gifts and stuff that they're always doing. They buy the land in someone else's name, gift it right to them, and never go there, never even come to the U.S., or they can if they want. I've had people from Nigeria like actually pay, like I was like, this is money for real, but they actually pay to buy land. One guy, he might be on the call. I was really proud of this guy. He called me like 10 or 15 times, really weird times of the day, right? Very strong accent, and he wanted to know like how much traffic there was. I'm like, traffic? Don't people usually want to get away from the traffic? That's usually what I'm describing. But he wanted to build a restaurant, and so in Nigeria he has a restaurant selling chicken, and I didn't understand, like, chicken? It's like, yeah, chicken. He sells whatever made of chicken, so it's some kind of like cooked chicken something dishes, and their local favorite in Nigeria, and he wanted to do them in the US. He wanted to move to the US and build his chicken restaurant and sell chicken. He wanted to grow his own chickens. He wanted to process his own chickens. He wanted to do everything on his own and sell it to the U.S. And like, you go, brother. That's what the U.S. is all about. Come to the U.S. and pull it off. And so then he paid for it. I forgot what property it was. And got the deeds and everything. And he was taking the deeds. Last I heard, he was taking the deeds to the consulate and saying, I own land in the U.S. I'm ready to go. I want to build my chicken restaurant. And now he's trying to immigrate to the U.S. So hopefully he made it. But stuff like that's fun, right? Hear those stories. Yeah, Luke, tell him use his drones at his own risks. No one arc on the river. Yeah, on arcs on the, I know, right? If you crash a drone, it's like, it's your drone. It's like carrying a camera. You just fell and broke your camera. RB Radio says, Luke, I have a free advertising proposition for you. Sounds good. Let's hear it. Roxy, I'm just north of you about 300 miles. It's colder than a well digger's patoot. Yeah. Affiliate marketing. Luke, you could get a Wyzant and teach property buying, Luke. Yeah, exactly. You could get on you could teach all kinds of stuff on Wyzant. I was just using that as an example of a way to make money while you're living in the countryside. It's one of many websites you can tap into and get many different clients. They'll feed you the clients and the business if you're willing to apply the work. I think that's a cool thing. That's neat. It's available to us in today's society. It wasn't really 5, 10, 20 years ago. It just wasn't really available, but now it is, and many different websites. Wyzant for educational stuff, but I like Upworks. I hire people off Upworks from time to time to get things done. Like if I need something, I like Upworks. Like if I was trying to find work, I'd be applying myself on there. I'd get gigs instead of a job, like a job that's going to take you into your grave over time. I mean, I don't really believe in that. I believe in trading your intellect for capital instead of your time for money. Like, you shouldn't be billing yourself per hour. You should be billing yourself on the output, on what you created, on what you're making, how you're improving somebody's life, their benefit, and them willing to pay you something that's fair. To me, that makes a lot more sense. It's not taught in our school system that way. I hope to instill that upon my kids and whoever else is listening. I hope you understand that idea and that concept and put the work up front to create something instead of trading, my $10 an hour or $20 an hour or $30 an hour or whatever you think you're worth. Ask for some real money, and I think you could be surprised at what you could get if you go ask for it in the right way. I like property where there could be gold. Yeah, there you go. That could be fun, right? Do a Udemy course. So Udemy is another one of the educational things. Udemy is another way. All of you guys could be doing that for different, whatever it is that you know. DD, yes, it could be. I have 8 Nuber winners on why I plan on buying land from Luke in Arizona to retire on. Here we go. How do you win the free land? Wait till the end. I'm almost there. I'm going to give away some land. I didn't mean to go this long. I'm just trying to answer some questions. Roxy says, I agree. Luke is the guy, and him I trust too. Thanks, Roxy. There's a lot of land dealers out there. There's a lot of places and ways to buy land, and I'm trying to make it easier. Hopefully I got the right land for you at the best price. Wilderness land above Twain Harte, California. I think I've got some of that. Twain Harte is that Calaveras County? I should know what county Twain Harte's in. Is it El Dorado? No. It's Northern California, behind Sacramento. I gotta get to the end of this. If you know where Twain Harte is on the map, zoom in, you'll find properties in that area. Losing my spot. PEX is a great option. Yeah, I love using PEX. PEX is so much easier than running copper and PVC and stuff. You can order it online pretty cheap too, like supplyhouse.com. In-floor heating, got that in my bed. Exactly, in bathroom. I'm doing it right now. Bathroom. Kids' bathroom. Are you going to make more videos on the people that won the land? Yes, I want to do that. I haven't had time. I'm trying so hard to keep up on a couple different things. Like, people are buying land. I'm trying to get them their deeds before they ask me, where's my deed? Where's my deed? Where's my deed? So every time I pick up the phone, somebody's like, where's my deed? I'm like, man, you just bought the property yesterday. I can't get the paperwork going that fast. I think it's Amazon. Blame Amazon. I love Amazon. I love how fast they deliver stuff, but I can't deliver deeds as fast as Amazon. I just can't. I can't produce them that fast. There's a couple processes in there. I just got to make sure I get it accurate and right, and I'm trying. I'm trying to get them out. Maybe have a contact for free submissions of footage. Win-win. Yeah, there we go. Gain exposure and experience setting up for quality on the bigger jobs. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm learning more quality on the bigger jobs, like drone footage and pictures, and more due diligence before I buy them. Like, the neighbor that shoots at the drone, do I really want to buy that property? And like gates that are locked that the photo guy can't get through to get to the property, do I really want to, or do I price that in more? I mean, those kinds of things. I'm trying to figure them out ahead of time more than just buying the land and then sending people out there, let the buyers telling me what's going on. Yeah, I'm living in Taiwan and I buy land from rural vacant land all the time as investments, but I'm American. Nice. Yeah, that works. People from all over the world buying land. Australia, Japan, Great Britain, France, Sweden, lots of places. More of them all the time. Mexico. Are you going to make more videos on the people that won? Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. If you can't find work, make work. Exactly. There's lots of places to go ask for jobs. You go as long as you want or wish. Okay, thanks, Luke. Keep me in mind if you have anything out here. Lucerne Valley to Palmdale. Okay, I'm just looking for a way into property, and I would work for some cheap land. There we go. So a lot of the properties that are in that area right now are owned by Willie, and I think you should talk to him about taking pictures. So he's on the website. If you look at the properties that are up for sale in the Palmdale, Victorville area, it's Willie's on most all of them. You talk to him about doing picture deals for land. He might be on board, maybe as down payment, or takes pictures on these ones, or keep taking pictures to make payments up along the way, or something like that. Yeah, you probably do a lot better at finding the actual land and getting pictures of the town and the turnoff and the signs and the road and what's good and what's bad about the views, and if there's junk there, take a picture of it. If there's wildlife, take a picture. That kind of thing. We did get our deed about 5 weeks ago. Peddle and Profits, good. Thanks. It was a quick process. Good. So some of them take longer. I just got a deed back like 2 weeks ago in the mail from Hawaii County, Hawaii, Bureau of Land. Why did I forget the name? Bureau of Land Conveyances, and it was recorded in March, and I sent it to him in like December. This is a year ago, December. I sent this deed to them. They recorded it in March, and then they returned it to me recorded in December. So you think I'm slow? Hawaii is really slow. Now, I've had some of them go through there faster, and yes, this one had a dead person and it had some more paperwork with it than just a normal deed, but still, like a year later, come on, guys. Yeah, drone footage or any video footage of actual properties a plus. Figure it out on your selling price. Yeah, true. I mean, some of the guys, I think the bigger dollar ones for sure. Some of the smaller ones, I'm not so much for it. I'm keeping track of them all. How about adding lower elevation properties for those of us that hate shoveling snow? Exactly. So there's elevation is in a lot of the listings. I try to get the elevation in the listings, but there's no way to sort by it. It would be nice if you could sort by it. Um, I think we're catching up. Okay, so I planted some seeds towards the end of or towards the beginning of this video. I said very specifically that I was going to ask a question towards the end, and right when I was saying that, I was saying this number about how many properties we got in inventory. And so you could look at how many properties are up for sale on the website, or you could remember from the beginning of this video when I said a specific number that starts with a 3. It's 300 something properties. And a bunch of people are already sticking it in there before I even ask this full question. So how many properties are in inventory for sale on ruralvacantland.com? And I got this pulled up on the screen, and it's screaming by there. A bunch of people are sticking the numbers in there. And so the first person that put it in there that I'm seeing is Dave Tassett. Tasset, Dave Tassett, 353 properties. So when I was making the video, or just starting this live feed, 353 properties, maybe some sold, maybe some new ones got posted since then. But so Dave, I'm gonna take your name here. Dave is the winner. Free land for today, Dave Tassett. I'm gonna give you a piece of land. I'm gonna fill out paperwork. I'm gonna put a check with it, and I'm gonna make an envelope that goes to the state. I'm gonna do this with unless something else changes along the way, but for the most part, I'm probably going to do this with Arkansas. So I'm going to do the paperwork to get you a free piece of property from Arkansas. I'm going to put up the money. It's not free from Arkansas, but it's free from me because I'm paying for it. And then you can do whatever the heck you want with the property. You could give it the middle finger and never do anything. You could sell it. You could sell it yourself. You could put it on Zillow. You could put it on Craigslist. You could put it on one of the new apps like Let Go, or one of those apps. A bunch of different apps on your phone where you can sell stuff. You can put it on eBay. Put it on eBay for $1. I'm sure it's going to sell for more than that. And the more pictures, the more story, the more information you can find, figure out, and put along with the property, probably the more it would go for. Or you could have me sell it. I'll put it up on the website. I'll try to describe. I'll try to make a video. I'll try to get the maps and stuff and see if somebody wants to take off with it for some price that makes sense, and then turn it into cash. And so if you want me to sell it, I'll charge you half the profits on it from whatever I pay for it up to however much you sell it for, half of that, and just give you the rest of the money. You turn it into cash. Or you could homestead it. You could build a house on it. You could build something on it to rent, to live in, to do what you want with. You could pass it to your kids. There's all kinds of things you could do with a property like this. I mean, you could sell it on terms. That's one of the things I love to do. Is you could, $100 a month for the rest of however long. You just turn it into payments, or figure out what your cell phone bill is. Maybe your cell phone bill is $79.84 a month or something, and you go put it up for sale for $79.84 a month for however many months you think is fair, and you could do a mind-bending exercise with your personal finances and say, okay, I got this property. I got it sold on payments. These payments are coming in every month. I got this bill. I don't want to have this bill. I don't like this bill. But now I got an offsetting payment to cancel out this bill and get rid of it. And I think a light bulb goes off in people's heads when they start seeing how that happens, because you could, for not much money, you could buy another one, and you could buy 10 more of them. You could buy a dozen more of them. And you could say, instead of just killing my cell phone bill, I could kill my car payment bill. I could kill my mortgage. I could kill my insurance. I could kill my kids' tuition. I could kill my whatever bills you have. And before you know it, you can knock those bills off and start living a freer lifestyle by using a tool like this land, or this land, to offset your bills. And it doesn't have to be these little Arkansas properties. It could be bigger and bigger and bigger ones. As you get into it and do more of them, you could change your lifestyle, not just for yourself, but for your kids, for your grandkids, whoever comes after you, and you could get them set up and doing different things without having all the debts that go along with buying stuff like their first house, or like their college education, or whatever it is that they might have coming up that could really saddle them for a long time throughout their life, and make a huge impact that could go through generations. Just that simple concept of offsetting your expenses. And that website we were looking at before, that Mr. Money Mustache website, he does a lot of that, that kind of logic calculation kinds of things. And a big aspect that he throws in there is when you start figuring out how to offset your bills and how much work it takes to offset each one of them, lots of times it's easier to just cut those bills out and stop spending money on that cable bill or that whatever it is bill that you have. Question the reason why you're really paying it. Do I need it? Do I need it? Do I need it? It's a want is usually what it comes down to. It's not a need. And you can get rid of a lot of those until you have the money to actually be able to afford those luxuries. And so that's financial wherewithal for my passions. Hopefully I can share that with someone out there. And Dave, thank you. Please send an email to my assistant Gillian, Gilian, at ruralvacantland.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. And then, send her what title you want the land, so the name that you're going to own the land in. It could be you and your spouse, your kids, whatever, trust, company, some kind of entity. And the address you want it sent to, contact information, you're going to email it to her, but maybe a phone number would be good in case there's something goes screwy, your paperwork comes along and stuff. And if you get letters of denial, rejection, no, can't do it because of blah, 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 from the government when we do this, or for the state, county, or whoever, wherever it's coming from in your particular property, please share them with me and we'll get it figured out, and make it happen. So thank you. Thanks everybody for listening, for watching, and just thank you. See you again next week, 9 a.m. And I'm going to try to do some new ones in between. If I got time, I'm going to try to do, I want to send out some more mail. So I'm just like getting to the edge of being able to send out more mail. If I can get some of this title paperwork cleaned off my desk and out of here, I'm going to send out some more mail. I'll probably do some more live mailers to teach you how I make offers, and I give some land away at the same time. So thank you. Talk to you guys later.